So I've been getting a lot of requests for Mel Gibson and Sound of Freedom and all that stuff. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, bro, I don't really touch this type of stuff. Like, I haven't looked into this movie, but y'all have been telling me, you need to check this out, you need to check this out. I'm like, okay. Like, I'm just focused on my studies, but here we go. I don't even know who Mel Gibson is. I'm assuming he's an actor, but let's go, I guess.
Made a number of cryptic references to a dark and evil side of Hollywood that
What?
he personally encountered.
When I came over here, I was in my mid-20s.
Right.
The first time I really came over here. You know, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
What?
And
What's wrong with Hollywood? Like, I'm sure when we all was coming up, like, we wanted to be actors and, you know, singers and dancers. So what? It can't be nothing that bad with Hollywood. It can't be.
and I formed a bunch of opinions about the town
What?
and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be, because a whole place can't be like, you know, Weird Town, you know, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them and they tell you don't go into the house on the hill, and it's like that. And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. I mean, that's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like. Could it? And then you find out later on the track that you were exactly on track with a lot of this stuff. Not specifically on track, but that you could, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the
What?
time. And you think, a place like this can humiliate you. And it can humiliate you, it can be humbling. I mean, it does rip your life to pieces.
So, if you're not from America, or if you do live in America, you know that Hollywood is like, it's like the mecca of America. Like, when it comes to getting into movies and trying to be a star in America, you got to go to Hollywood. You have to, like. So when I hear this stuff, I always heard like rumors about like, oh, Hollywood is this, Hollywood, but I never thought Hollywood was actually bad. Like, I thought people were just being dramatic, but apparently Mel Gibson is some type of actor. And he's saying like, oh, it's like your deepest, darkest nightmares. I'm like, what in the world had to be going on in Hollywood, bro?
Pieces,
Is it?
if you'll let it.
Yeah.
And it's always pounding at the walls. It's these little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head with a battering ram trying to like beat your walls in.
Now, Gibson, of course, since that interview, has met with, shall we say, some unfortunate circumstances. His reputation was soiled after 2006 drunk driving arrest when he made widely publicized remarks which have tarnished his reputation among Hollywood insiders ever since. And yet, Gibson appears to have come out from that reputational slander rather undaunted. He was seen of late standing up and saluting President Trump at a recent UFC championship fight, and he's been pictured posing with Carrie Lake in Arizona. But now we're getting reports that Gibson is preparing to release a groundbreaking 4-part documentary series that'll shed light on the hidden world of a global child trafficking ring.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I'm assuming that's what the movie Sound of Freedom is about, because that's all I've been hearing. And of course you hear the Mel Gibson, but I'm a college student. Like, I don't know who this guy is. Like, it's not even in my realm of celebrities. So when he talks about all this stuff happening, I'm just like, is all this stuff true? Like, is this really what? Nah, ain't no way.
Staggering annual revenue of $34 billion. If you can believe it, that's an amount that surpasses the yearly earnings of the airline industry. Here's Tim Ballard of Operation Underground and one of the leading figures in the global fight against child
Ukraine. Got a phone call from Mel Gibson. He actually did the final edit of The Sound of Freedom. That's how we know each other, but not well enough that I'd be getting phone calls. He told me that he was in Budapest at the time. This was right hours after the invasion, and he said he supports a bunch of orphans in Ukraine, and he was worried about them, and he asked if I could help get them out. So now I've got 12 from my wife, I got 13 others from Mel Gibson, and I'm thinking, okay, I got this list of kids I got to get out. I told Mel, I said, you got to help me. This is going to be expensive. I won't ask you for direct donation, but can you help me film this? Let's film what's happening so we can get people to understand and they can support us. He said, no problem. He helped us get set up and started filming. 4 months later, what I thought was going to be maybe a documentary about Ukraine ends up being a 4-part docuseries that's almost done. It's being produced by DNA Films and executive produced by Tony Robbins. That's how crazy it got and how prophetic my wife was. When I showed up in Ukraine with a list of, I think, 20 names, the Ukrainians countered me and gave me over 10,000 names of orphans that they didn't know where they were because of the chaos caused.
10,000? Nah, this cat. No. Oh, brother. It's always so crazy to me because I've been in college for years at this point, and it's like it's so much that you have no idea is happening. Like, you would at least think that I would have at least heard of this stuff happening, but it never even crossed my mind. It never even crossed my thought. Like, ain't no way, bruh. Oh, brother, this is happening. I can't even cap. This is happening, bro. And it's just sad that I haven't heard of it. It's kind of...
by war. And more importantly, and more frightening to me, was the fact that I know that he is a $32 billion a year business, the fastest growing criminal enterprise in the world. And I also know how kids get forced into that market. And it's through vulnerable situations like in the aftermath of a hurricane, mostly in a developed country, or an earthquake, or in this case, a war.
Again, that was Tim Ballard. He's absolutely amazing. He's a former CIA and DHS special agent, and now he's dedicated his life to rescuing children from human which, of course, is happening in Ukraine, as he
That's so
pointed out.
sad, man.
And
I
it's
can't even
happening
believe
more
it.
than any one of us could imagine our worst nightmares at our southern border, thanks to the deliberate incompetence of the bumbling Biden administration. But as you could see from that testimony, Mel Gibson, behind the scenes, is on the forefront of these rescue operations.
I can't believe this, man.
The release of this documentary.
This is disgusting, bro. Like, this is heartbreaking. Like, and I'm supposed to be like a scholar. Like, I am a scholar. I'm a scholar, bro. But when I hear this stuff, man, this is heartbreaking and disgusting. Like, the fact that this is not even touched in any class I've ever. This is not even. I don't think y'all understand the extent to which I have not heard of this. Like, this has never even crossed my mind, period, ever. So the fact that this is like a super huge industry and this is happening all throughout the world, and it took a freaking movie or an artist I've never heard of, or see an artist, producer, I don't know, to bring light to it, man. It's like, how much other things do I not know, bro?
That according to Newsweek. Now, you should know Gibson's publicist has denied these rumors. Obviously, he's very worried about the blowback that Mel would inevitably get from a town that doesn't appear to take too kindly to exposing some of their darker tendencies. But unfortunately for Hollywood, the genie may be out of the bottle on this one. I don't know if any of you saw the recent bombshell piece in the Wall Street Journal, a front-page article exposing the social media site Instagram for being used as a platform for connecting and promoting a vast network of accounts dedicated to the commission and purchase of underage content. It was an investigation conducted by the Wall Street Journal, Stanford University, as well as the University of Massachusetts.
Oh my goodness.
And it found that Instagram's algorithms actively promote pedophilia-related content, connecting pedophiles and guiding them to content sellers through various recommended systems. The researchers discovered that Instagram allows people to search explicit hashtags related to child sexual.
What? Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Bro. Oh my goodness. Y'all, this is so much. This is so much to listen to. This is heartbreaking, man. Cause I have little sibling. I have a little sister I care about, bro. So I can only nah. I can't. This is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. This is so heartbreaking.
Abuse and links them to accounts advertising and selling child sex material. I mean, it was horrific stuff, to say the least, and indicates that something seems to be going on here. There does seem to be a kind of Harvey Weinstein-like rumbling going on here, where the dark secrets everyone knew about are about to come to the surface for all to see. So regardless of whether Mel Gibson goes through with this or not, it does appear that the cat is out of the bag, and some pretty seedy behavior among our ruling elite is about to come to much-deserved light. Hey, gang,
And I'm a little scared to even put this video out here because I don't know. Like, I hope nothing happens to me just from watching this video. But like, this is the truth, man. This is real stuff, and this is scary. Cause I have little people, like little siblings or little cousins I care about. I don't want nothing to happen to children ever at all. And the fact that this is a huge industry and I have never heard of it. Like, of course, you know it exists. I'm not saying that I didn't know the entire term existed. That's just ignorant. Of course I knew the term existed. But what I'm saying is I didn't know the extent to which it was a problem in the world. It's a 30 billion, like, come on, man. How was I supposed to know that? And this is heartbreaking, man. Like, this is scary and this is heartbreaking. If you have any thoughts about this, let me know, man. If you have any concerns, let me know. And I'll see y'all the next one, man. This is too much for me. I'm going to end this video here.